Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Autumn has come to upstate New York, and we find ourselves at New Era Field in Orchard Park. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Quickly now a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Check 24.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They really played well in that win last week against Miami.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
First carry now. This is Johnson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Right here.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. 50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds.
So after the INT, it's Allen. They're able to complete this one to McLeod. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The run on first down gets him a couple up to the 27. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll have a first down past the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Check. Safe.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Alert! He's checking.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he's got the hook up to McLeod. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 33. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
I'm coming for you. You mine. Back. Hey, tight. Mike 50. Here we go.
Now a give, right side. Madison. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down.
You got tight right there. Hey, home. Slam.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Well, let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 29-yard line.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
On play action, it's Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing is Wentz. Lets it fly for Thielen. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Taken from just outside the 30. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Regular. 56.
Check 4.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. He'll get 4 yards on the carry there, and we will get to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Yo. Sit.
Stop. Alert.
Check 3.
Regular.
Alert 3.
Hey, tight.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Get out the field, defense. Check your hot read. Switch.
On 3rd down, Allen. Got an open man, it's McLeod. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. Allen, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd down, Madison. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's 3rd and goal.
Watch out. Wide, get wide. Jim.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Wentz. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Complete to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside.
Here we go.
A 7-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
It's our time.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Bills to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Tighten up.
Shoot! Watch the shoot! Alert!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Not to think about some.
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? Can you get another chance?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Marr now to add the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. To throw is Wentz. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Marr on for the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. 17 yards and a first down for Philly. Johnson's got it complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing again on second down. Wentz. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. But now it's third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Let's go.
Throwing on first down is Allen. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch the run.
Allen throwing again. Throw left side, complete to McLeod. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And the Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Bang, 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 bang.
Hey, home.
Here it comes. 57's the mic. Watch 57.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Easy work. It's easy work.
So we've come to halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Half 85. Middle.
Check 24. Hatchet.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Tackle made by Adrian Phillips.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Middle.
At the Eagles' 49-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, Allen. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll run it with Jones. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Check 13. On 52. Half. 50. Check 99. Check 99.
Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll try and run for it. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Showing it. Check 31. Check
On 52.
They'll keep it on the ground. Madison, and give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check. Half 85. Half 85.
57's mine.
Here we go.
Slam.
X3. 218. Chopper. Alert.
On second down and 4, Allen. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
57. Mike 57. Half. Check 9. Hey. Middle. 24.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And some room to run now. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch the safety creep.
The 2-yard line.
Half 10. 5 wide.
Check 6 guys.
Half 10.
Check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Madison, and he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
And that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Now Wentz on third down. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big 30-yard play on third.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
How about this defense? For a third straight play, he's going nowhere. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? Because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Madison, he takes this from the 30 to the 34. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
57. I'm trying to collect. On 52. 57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Allen now on first down. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On second down now, it's Jones. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now. The Bills on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time it's 3rd and 3. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now this throw caught left side. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. DJ Chark. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Here's Wentz to throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
He made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same...
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to get this back to within at least some measure of respectability. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Check nickel. 56.
On first down, Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Check 24. Check tight. Watch twist.
On second down, Madison. And they'll get him down right around the 16. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Monday. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Rush in.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll keep it on the ground. Madison. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now Jones. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of it.
And got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Wentz now to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Johnson was the intended receiver, and now it's second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. One final try now for Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow. So for the Bills, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.